An additional post-launch Doom the Dark Ages campaign expansion will be released at some point in the not-so-distant future, and a recent tease from game director Hugo Martin has seemingly given us enough information to determine exactly what the DLC story is about. Hugo also discussed the idea of a Halo ODST-style Doom game, but before we get into that, I want to highlight some great news we received during this week's developer livestream. You can now acquire the highly sought-after limited-time Ranger Doomslayer skin without visiting an in-person Prince Street Pizza location. If you call one of their participating restaurants located in the United States or Canada at some point between now and June 15th, they will allow you to purchase a slice of Hellfire pepperoni over the phone in order to receive the bonus Dark Ages cosmetic code. Be sure to clearly state that you only want the in-game item so they can donate the pizza itself to a hungry employee or customer. It's a win-win situation for everyone. On the topic of cosmetics, Doom Eternal players on PC can now equip the Medieval Slayer armor by downloading the Dark Ages Praetor model swap mod created by Blacklight9699. I'll leave a link in the description for anyone that's interested. Some pretty important updates are coming to Doom the Dark Ages in the very near future. While no specific details were provided, it was confirmed that a fix for the HDR issues is currently in the works. They also plan on further balancing the weapon switch speed after hearing your feedback. This won't enable standard quick swapping as it's not the intended playstyle, but changing your weapon class or firing mode while in the heat of battle should feel a lot smoother going forward. Smaller gameplay-related updates like this, the plasma ammo capacity increase, and adjustments to the Dragon gameplay loop will be implemented through the new active tunable system, which allows them to push out changes without requiring any sort of external download. Larger bug fixes and quality of life improvements should be included in the game's first title patch. We don't know if any additional content like empowered demons or player cosmetics will be featured in Update 1, but it does seem like they're aiming to fix the Berserker achievement bug among several other things. I'll leave a link to the Tunables changelog in the description. I would recommend checking it often so you don't drive yourself crazy wondering why the game suddenly feels different. They briefly mentioned the possibility of creating a Doom game in the style of Halo ODST and provided a notable update on the possibility of affordable, real-life Dark Ages collectible figures from Numskull. Today's update on the DLC will contain spoilers for the main campaign's ending, so those who haven't completed the game yet can skip to the timestamp that's on screen now to avoid ruining the conclusion and instead learn more about the side entry and upcoming merchandise. I'll give you a few moments to skip ahead. I'm sure that some of you just throw these videos on in the background while you work. Alright then, are we cool? Good. During Chapter 2 of Slayers Club Live with game director Hugo Martin and community manager Joshua Boyle, Hugo had a pretty interesting reaction to one particular comment from a viewer.
Yeah, that would be... because he looks
So when are we hunting down Hell's High Council? Yep, there is a lot of them out there.
That's true.
While the final cutscene does conclude the main narrative in a satisfying way, it also ends on a bit of a cliffhanger that sets up the expansion, as the Slayer brings the Creedmaker's battle station into Hell and sets his sights on a group of unspecified targets. The tone of Hugo's response seems to imply that we'll be hunting down the High Council of Hell at some point later down the road, which not only lines up perfectly with the story's ending, but might also lead directly into the Slayer's testaments. The first entry states, "In his ravenous hatred he found no peace, and with boiling blood he scoured the Umbral Plain seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him." The third entry introduces another set of possible targets. In his crusade, the Seraphim bestowed upon him terrible power and speed, and with his might he crushed the obsidian pillars of the Blood Temples. He set forth without pity upon the Beast of the Nine Circles. Unbreakable, incorruptible, unyielding, the Doomslayer sought to end the dominion of the Dark Realm. All three Hell levels contain unique statues of Demon Lords that have never appeared in-game, possibly foreshadowing Doomguy's battle against them at the end of the DLC. Of course, nothing has been confirmed as of now. This is just speculation based on lore and possible hints from the developers. Hugo Martin was also asked about the possibility of letting players fight against Hell's armies as a standard soldier, and while he firmly stated that nothing of the sort is ready to be announced, it is a concept that he's previously considered and is totally open to doing.
Solo 66, okay. Hey Hugo, would y'all ever consider making a Halo 3 ODST style Doom game that puts the player in the perspective of the UAC ARC soldiers, the Sentinels of the classic Doom Marines from the 7th dimension? I've totally thought about doing that, just so that's not like an announcement of future game, like just something that as you build the world, then you create all this fiction around what happened. And of course, the soldiers have a story. I mean, if you play through Eternal, you see the remnants and the clues to the battle that they had, the smaller assault mechs that they used, how they all got wrecked. So there is obviously like a lot of environmental storytelling there. And as I said, like if people like what you make, then as you lay down all this fiction and all this background information and give the world like a real history, then yeah, I mean, like that's you have to kind of think it through as you make this stuff. Like, okay, this is how the battle went. They got wrecked. They used mechs. So I think all that stuff is super interesting. Not at all, even remotely, an announcement of anything, but just saying that, like, of course, that stuff, that story is there, you know, in the world, for sure. So I hope that answers.
The Numbskull Eternal toy replicas were an instant hit within the community, so you may be surprised to hear that they currently are not working on a brand new line based on the Dark Ages. It's entirely possible that some were created and released at a later date, but the company's production process seems to be impacting our chances of seeing a full line of collectibles anytime soon. I strongly encourage the community to take to social media and respectfully let both Bethesda and Numbskull know that there is a serious interest in these replicas that could heighten our chances of actually getting them. It was recently announced that Master Levels might be coming to Doom the Dark Ages. Click on the video that's on screen now to learn more. Thank you all so much for watching today's video, I hope you enjoyed it. That's pretty much all that I have for now, though. Until next time.